Hello, salam, namaste, sat sri akal and copy to all. This is Interwoven KG and welcome to my YouTube channel. And as you can see in today's video, we're going to talk about tripods. And I'm going to tell you everything you need to know if you're looking for a tripod, whether you're a beginner or a hobbyist like me. So let's get on with it after a short intro.
Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude.
So let's first talk about the factors to consider before choosing a tripod. The first and foremost thing is the weight of the tripod. When it comes to weight, we have two things to consider. One is the weight of the tripod as well as the payload which it can handle. Heavier tripods are more stable, but these days you can have light tripods and put counterweight or hang your bag, as most of these give you that option with a hook. There are generally three kinds of material used for tripods. One is the aluminiums, the ones which are sitting on my desk are aluminum tripods, and then you have carbon tripods and the steel tripods. Let's talk about aluminium first. These are the most common tripods. As you can see, the two sitting on my desk are aluminium. They're much lighter than steel and do not rust. These are reasonably priced if you compare them to the carbon tripod. According to me, this is the best material to go for, as it gives you the best bang for your buck or your money. Then we have carbon fiber tripod these days. I see a lot of these being recommended on YouTube by professionals, and most of the time I'm not sure why. Most probably since they get these free samples and they do not need to consider the cost. I do agree that the carbon tripods are lighter and durable, although I won't say they are more durable than aluminum. One thing I can say for sure is that this cheap tripod of Newer shows no sign of breaking, and I don't think so I'm going to break it unless I throw it under the bus. So let me give you an example why I think that the carbon tripods are not worth it. I looked at the Peak Design tripod, which YouTube stalwarts can't stop recommending. The Peak Design carbon tripod, which weighs 1.27 kg with the ball head, costs around 800 Australian dollars, and the same tripod in aluminium just weighs 300 gram more at 1.5 kg and costs around 300 Australian dollar less and is priced at around 500 Australian dollars. Both carry the same payload of 9 kg. I'm not great at maths, so do correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. According to my simple calculation, this means that the carbon tripod of Peak Design is 60% more expensive than the aluminum one and has the same payload and features. The only difference I can see is that it is 18% lighter than the aluminum one, and it is by and large the same story with all the brands. Now you make your own judgment if it is worth to pay 60% more for 18% less weight, or in absolute terms, is it worth to shell $300 extra for just a 300 gram lighter tripod? To me, it doesn't make sense. So the second most important factor while choosing a tripod will be the height of the tripod. Now, this is subjective and will depend on your preference as well as your own height and the kind of videos you do. Ideally, your camera shall be able to reach your eye in an upright position. So if you're 5 feet 9 inches like me, you shall be looking at a tripod which can extend till 5 feet. This will make sure that you don't need to bend while you shoot your videos, as that is not good for your back. The second thing to consider is the height of the tripod when it is folded. That means when it is in this state. It should be able to fit in easily in your camera bag or your laptop bag or your messenger bag, depending on whatever you're using. The next thing to consider is the most important thing according to me if you're buying a tripod, and that's the tripod head. This is the most essential part of your tripod system, and this is where you should not compromise. Now, some tripods come with the head, but in some cases you might want to buy a separate one. If you're buying the head separately, make sure that the head can support at least same amount of payload or the weight as your tripod. So when you go to the market, you'll find generally three kinds of heads with the tripods. Now they can range from $50 to $2,500, but we're going to discuss about the basic ones. So the first kind of head is a video head. Now I have this Neo 56-inch tripod. It's a pretty cheap tripod and it comes with this video head. The video head is not one of the best because it doesn't have fluid, which means the traction is less. But basically in a video head you'll be able to do this tilt function as well as pan function. Now I know you are hearing these sounds. That is because obviously this is a cheap tripod and is showing some age. So the second kind of head is a ball head. Now unfortunately I don't have a tripod which has a ball head, but this is a Joby mini tripod and this one has a ball head, so I can show you and perhaps you'll get the idea. So generally these have these one knob, and what you can do is that once you adjust the knob you can move the camera whichever way you want. You can also go to the portrait mode. But with this one what I saw was that if you loosen the knob, then only you get access to both the axes, that is this head, the ball head itself, and the pan. So what happens is that if I just want to move this, I have to hold the camera. So basically you can't take videos with it, I think, unless you have a ball head which has independent pan and this head movement. Yeah, so that's basically the ball heads, and most of the tripods do come with the ball heads. These are more for photographic use and not much for video, because in video you do need more stabilization and this head perhaps won't work the best. This third three-way head is my favorite head because it gives you best of both. Now why I say so is because you can do pan and tilt at the same time, and that too independent of each other, so which is great for video, and it has fluid inside, so your pans as well as your tilts are going to be very smooth and you'll not be looking at that jittery movement which you will in a cheaper tripod. And to top it all, it also can be used for photos, because most of the people do try or like taking photos in a portrait mode. So all you have to do is just tilt it and it allows you to take photos in a portrait mode. Now it is not as flexible as a ball head if you're taking photos, because that you can adjust wherever you want to. But for me, a person like me who perhaps shoots 80% of video and just 20% of photos, this is just the best. And I know it's not very cheap, it is around $200 just for the head, but this is perhaps one head which will solve almost all the purposes. So which tripod shall you buy? If you're someone who is starting up and only use phone or point and shoot but do not need something to stabilize, just go and buy any tripod which is cheap and has 3 legs. It should be light and maybe a ball head will be good. But if you're someone who is planning to move to more expensive setup like a mirrorless or a DSLR and you need stabilization, I'll suggest to invest in a good tripod. I've done a full video on Manfrotto Be-Free tripod which I found closest to my requirement. I'll put a link in the description just if you're interested. I hope this video was helpful. Do let me know in the comment section which tripod did you go for. In this channel, I share my reviews, travel vlogs, as well as my experiences. So if you want to be part of the journey, you know what to do. So this is it for this one. See you in the next one. Rub Raka.